Well guys, welcome back to Dale's Fishing Adventures. Thanks for joining me. It is a cold November, late November day, and down at one of my club waters. I'm going to do a overnight session with my friend Paul, and my apologies for the lack of videoing at the beginning of this video of all the usual things like setting up and that, but time is against me today, and it's going to get dark pretty quick. And if you look around the lake now, you can see it's not the brightest of days already, so I really wanted to get set up and fishing as soon as I could. So I'm going to be trying the spinner rig, and I've tied a little pop-up onto there with some floss and a maggot clip, and that I've already put out, and I'll show you a bit more of that in a moment. And just about to set up my other rod, which until it gets dark I'm going to fish with a method feeder just to try and get a few on the bank. But I've got one rod out. I've got to get up my unhooking mat and my landing net set up, so I'm going to finish filming for the moment, but stick with me and hopefully we can get a few on the bank. Well guys, I've now got both rods out and fishing, and my left hand rod is got the method feeder on, and he's just about there. Get my finger at the right angle, just about here, sort of not that far out at all really, where it's hard to tell from the video, but where these branches are overhanging here is just underneath. So I've kept that quite close in, had success there before. Second rod, looking out sort of in that little dip there where the sort of bigger bushes or bigger tree is, and it dips down. I'm kind of there, about halfway out between here and there. So yeah, out and fishing. My friend Paul's going to be here in about 10 minutes. Lovely afternoon. Not really long before it does get dark, so I might have to think about putting the bivvy up in a minute, but I'm all set up, and hopefully we might catch a few. And also made little friends with the maggots here, so little robbing there, just throwing a couple of maggots, and it's nice to see. It's now about 6:30 in the evening. Paul is all set up, so am I. He's just recast his rods, 2 method feeders out on the middle of the lake, and we are just about to have some dinner. Oh, that's better, Paul. Thanks, shine that in mine. Thank you. And just doing ourselves a bit of dinner, which I'm going to spin the camera around now and show you. So for my dinner, I'm going to have some chopped up steak, onions, peppers, in some rolls. Paul's gone the whole hog, and he's got steak with his salad. Over and out, we'll keep you posted on fish. Well, good morning everyone. Unfortunately we didn't have anything in the night, and what I can take from that is that Paul is using 2 method feeders on obviously one on each of his rods, and he hasn't caught either, so at least fishing with him I know that it's not just me that hasn't caught. And when I say that I mean that in the way that at least I know it's not something I'm doing wrong, because it can't be all 4 rods that aren't right. So I think they're just not feeding. Obviously, it's this time of year anyway. We're nearly into December. Excuse me, I just woke up. Just chucking it down with rain. I've actually shut the door on the bivvy now because it's raining that heavy. It's been open all night, but yeah. So it looks unlikely that anything's going to happen. But I'm going to give it another hour or so, and see if anything changes. If not, I'm going to start packing up, but I'll keep you updated. thought I'd spend a minute showing you what setup I've got here. So, using a helicopter type rig with some lead core and a little bit of weed in there, so I've got it set, and got the heli leg coming up to a rectangle sleeve, some coated hook links, and then here got a mainline 12mm pop-up border maggot clip, and that's all held on with block. I have one more cast. There's some fish moving about just a couple of rod lengths out early this morning, so I'm going to just flip this out there, see how we get on, another hour, and then see what happens. What I've also done, put a PVA mesh bag, put some maggots in there. There's also some dead maggots, and a little bit of the pellet stuff. I'm not touched the metal feed yesterday. I've also put some of that in there, just trying to take an effect. I'm going to put some fuel on it as well, just throw everything out I can now and see if it makes a difference. Well, it's that time again, time for Dale's deliberation. So the session that I just done overnight, winter time, what can I take away from that? Well, it's late November, as I said, so the fish are probably not very active anyway, but thinking back, I think I definitely did make some mistakes, so there's no doubt about that. What I did, and I'm not blaming my friend Paul in any way, shape or form, but we took the easy swim, which was near the car park. What I should have done was had a look around the lake to at least try and see if I could see any movement from any fish, and picked a swim based on hopefully where the fish would be rather than what was convenient. So I don't think I improved my chances there. I think I fished okay, but probably could have put in a little bit more effort. Certainly in the morning I was a bit unenthusiastic in the morning. I've got to get up fairly quick and fairly early and get back to work. So yeah, I've actually come away from this session learning quite a bit, and I've got into the habit of picking a swim, having a lead around, maybe spotting some bait out, just sort of trying to fish a little bit more methodically, technically, and that kind of went out the window this session, and I'm not really sure why. I think it was probably just because I was in a rush. Time's always against me in my life, and I'm always in a rush, and that showed on this particular session. So lesson for me is take a bit more time and try and do things a little bit better, and try and be a little bit more technical again, how I had got it over the last 12 months. So hopefully that might have produced some results, but hey ho, it was a night out. It's great to have a session with Paul, which was well overdue. A couple of beers, nice bit of food, and as I've said before, that's what fishing's all about. It's about having fun and socialising. So that was it. So thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching Dale's Fishing Adventures. For those of you that have subscribed recently, thank you very much. I've just got a record amount of views on my French carp fishing session. That's in the hundreds, which is more than I've had on any other videos, which is great to see. It's nice to see that people actually are watching and hopefully enjoying it. So thanks again, and tight lines everyone.